Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first game in our winner's bracket here on this Saturday afternoon from Laredo, Texas. The 18U Palomino World Series for Pony League. Joining me today, a Laredo legend in his own right. Not in his own mind, but in his own right. Well, Mr. Mario Garcia joining me here today as we've got Youngstown, Ohio taking on Chinese TaiPei. Coach? What do you got for me today?
No, it's a beautiful day to play baseball. Beautiful stadium, beautiful afternoon, and let's watch some good baseball being played today.
Running through your lineup for Youngstown, Ohio, Dylan Brickner going to lead off. He's playing out in left field. Jake McCaskey, he's hitting second, playing second base. Steve DeSanio hitting third. He will play third. Josie Hoffman in the cleanup spot. He's going to play at shortstop. Connor Roykow, he's hitting fifth, and he will play center field. Jacob Keene playing first base. Next up in the order, we got Justin Stewart hitting seventh. He's going to be behind the plate. Ben McKnight, your DH, and Rowan Fletcher, he's going to play right field and bat ninth. And now we get to the fun part. Chinese TaiPei here. Coach, are you ready for this?
No.
Joe C. Hu going to be on the mound pitching. Pie Fong Dai behind the plate, going around the infield. Po Sun Wang at first. Cheng Kai Lin at second. Kun Yo Chang at short, and Ji Hong Liu at third. Going left to right in your outfield, Wang Yi Ku, Ku Jin Yin, and Yi Ling Ho. Going from left field to right field. How'd I do?
I'm impressed, Ryan. You did a lot better than I would have.
My one semester, my one class of the history of China. Obviously, this team is not from China. We want to, expel that myth, I guess. It's Chinese TaiPei. They're actually from Taiwan. But the name's pretty similar, so I hope I did okay. I hope I didn't offend anybody out there. If I did, I apologize. As we get ready to get going here, Chinese TaiPei, the TaiPei team, definitely the most impressive off of day one as they beat up the team out of San Antonio 13-0 yesterday, Coach. We are just about ready for first pitch here. Dylan Brickner stepping in as our umpire gives us play ball. First thing we notice, Sue working out of the stretch. So not going to go out of the windup at all, it looks like. Brickner checks a swing, they'll look down. Count even at 1-1 now. We appreciate you guys tuning into our YouTube channel for Uni-Trade Stadium. So swing, a line drive down the line, but foul. That wind whipping in. The warm Laredo afternoon. The 1-2 offer and fouled off. I've always been old school, Coach. Always went with the paper and pencil for the scorecard. Today, we're trying it out on the Amazon Fire Pad. We'll see how this works. I've got the backup. So we'll go 2-2 now. I got the pen and paper if I need it, but we're gonna see how this works. My chicken scratch is pretty ugly sometimes, so it can get hard to read as we get into the later innings. 2-2 count. Again fouled off. Brickner doing a nice job here of staying alive. racking up that pitch count. You were a coach for a long time. How important is that, especially early on, to see a lot of pitches out of the opponents? This one tapped down the third baseline, going to be a tough play and no play. Brickner hustling that one out. Ji-Hong Liu had no chance. So the first man on here. There's a strike one. So Brickner at first. That will bring up Jake McCaskey. Pickoff throw. No play. We'll see how aggressive Brickner wants to be out there. He fakes it now. We're going to lay down the bunt. Nice sacrifice bunt. The throw to first just in time. So you can mark that down 1-3 with the sacrifice. So Dylan Brickner moves down to second base. They're playing a little bit of small ball here. We're at the top of the first, one away. That'll bring up Steve DeSunio. The man on second, already a scoring opportunity here for the kids out of Youngstown, Ohio. That's ball one. Chinese Taipei didn't give up a run yesterday in their victory over San Antonio. The set and the pitch, just below the knees. Ball two. That looked like a good pitch, Coach.
Yeah, I think it was good. He's throwing. No, yeah, have it open.
Come on, Coach. Turn on your mic. Get in the game, Coach. 2-0 count now. Swung on a ground ball to short. Brickner trying to go to third, and he is going to be gunned out. Yeah, that was not a good base running play there.
Yeah, usually as a runner going from second to third, you let the ball go through or it'd go behind you before you advance to third, but he tried to go, and the ball hit right at the shortstop, and he was easily thrown out of third base.
Yeah, that one goes down as a fielder's choice. Josie Hoffman stepping in. First offering was a strike. Here's the second pitch. Oh, it just misses. So DeSanio on first on the fielder's choice. 2 away now, takes away the scoring opportunity. That one's over. Quickly, 1 and 2 now to Hoffman. Not much of a lead over at first. We got a time. Desanio. There's a ground ball right back to Sue at the mound. He's going to toss it over to first, and that's going to do it. So no runs on one hit and one man left on for Youngstown, Ohio. We're through just half an inning here in Laredo. Your score 0 for Youngstown, Ohio, and Chinese Taipei. Still to come to bat. Coach, what did you see in that first inning?
You know, it seems like Youngstown's trying to generate a run, maybe due to the pitching that Chinese Taipei has, that maybe they're going to struggle to score some runs. So they did, you know, worked out everything good bunt, everything, but a little bit of base running blunder there by one of the kids, but it seems like we're going to be in for a good ball game.
As a coach, how much does that frustrate you when you see a simple base running error like that?
Yes, it's frustrating, you know, but kids will be kids. You know, we make mistakes. You know, you can watch ESPN at night or watch a Sunday night baseball game, and, you know, you see the major leaguers do it. It just, you know, just tell him what he did wrong, and hopefully he'll learn from his mistakes. Yeah,
it just seemed to be a moment's lapse in judgment there out of Brickner. It stings even more probably that he's your leadoff man. You hope that your leadoff man, he's a speedster, he's smart out there on the bases. Had a chance to score on a single. Instead, he gets thrown out. All right, we're going to run now through this Chinese Taipei lineup here. Again, I forgive me, everybody, if you're listening out there. We're going to run through this. First, we're going to go through the defense setup for Youngstown, Ohio. Zach Rudley, he's going to take the mound, pitching to Justin Stewart. Going across the diamond from first to third, Jacob Keene, Jake McCaskey, Josie Hoffman, and Steve DeSanio over there at third. Going left to right in the outfield, Dylan Brickner, Connor Rakow, and Rowan Fletcher. Going to be out there leading off right now. Kun Yu Chang for Chinese Taipei. Hitting a two-hole, Yi Long Ho. Third will be Ching Kai Lin. There's a base hit to start it off. Not wasting any time on that first pitch. Right back up the middle. Usually on a leadoff batter to start the game or start the inning off, the coach will tell him to take a pitch, but I guess he felt that the pitcher was going to come out with a fastball right down the middle, so he went and took a hack on it and came through. Again, Yi Long Ho stepping in there. Ching Kai Lin batting third. Hitting fourth will be Jai Hong Liu. Piao Feng Dai hitting 5 spot. Piao Sun Wang, as there's a sacrifice. Again, playing some small ball, Coach. Exactly what the other team did, and well defensively played, to throw the guy out at first. So they're going to work for the one run at a time. So there you go. Kung Yu Chang over there at second base. A chance for them to score. Win Yi Ku hitting 7th. Chun In Lin hitting 8th. And Q Chin Yen hitting in the 9th spot as they finally let me get through the entire lineup. We've already got one out. There's a ball to Cheng Kai Lin. Nice off-speed offering there from Rudley. Evens up the count 1-1. Down low and in the dirt. 2-1 count now. Again, the winner's bracket on the top half of the bracket. There's a line drive just over the head of the third baseman. They're going to try and score the run. The throw coming in. It's going to be cut off. No play at the plate. as Kung Yu Cheng scores on that nice hit. Or excuse me, yeah, by Cheng Kai Lin. Only in Laredo can you get away with that and it not be. So there we go. Chinese Taipei on the board first. They lead this one 1-0. They fake the go. Pitch hit high in the air to left. Drifting back on it is Dylan Brickner. This one going to be off the wall. It's going to get down to 1 run. Going to come around to score on the double. Just like that, it is 2-0 Chinese Taipei.
You can tell that these kids from Chinese Taipei are very well coached. They're very fundamentally sound running the bases, just watching them run the bases. And that goes a long way, especially in the tight games that you have. But, and they're hitting the ball really well. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, Dylan Brickner there went back on it, never really had a chance to make the catch, especially that wind whipping from right to left. Probably kept that ball in the gap. It also didn't allow the center fielder, Connor Rakow, to come over. There's a strike to our next man up, Pei Fong Dai. He takes strike 2 as well. Nice block there by the catcher, Justin Stewart. We heard from people yesterday, this Chinese Taipei team, they played earlier on. A lot of people said they were what looked to be the favorite coming out of yesterday's 4 games. And they have proved it there as their strike 3 catching the outside corner. Nice pitch from Rudley. 2 away. Next man up, Po Sung Wang. He swings, just kind of flailing at that first pitch. Next offering in there as well, strike 2. To Rudley, he's saying, man, I'm just going to get out of this myself. There's a swing in the back, goes flying to the backstop. He doesn't connect with the ball, though. And that is strike 3. So 3 straight strikes as Youngstown, Ohio gets out of the inning. But Chinese Taipei, the kids from Taiwan, get on the board. 2 runs on 3 hits. 1 man left on. We're going to head to the top of the 2nd inning now. 2-0 Chinese Taipei with the lead. Like you said, Coach, the fundamentally sound team, how important is that?
It's huge, especially like I said, on close games where everything really counts, where you're not blowing one out of the other. But the kid from Ohio came back and shut the door after he gave up those hits. He came back and struck out the next 2 guys. So, yeah, he probably just needs to settle down a little bit and get going. But he looks really well. So he's got a good little fastball and a really nice changeup. So, I'm looking for it to get a little, to be a good game from both pitchers.
Now the guys next door, Coach, admiring your ring there. Which you got on your right finger. Which one is that? You got 2 of them, don't you? Yeah, I want to see it, Coach. Put it up to the camera there. There you go. See? You can zoom in on that one. For going to state, what year was that one?
That was my last year at Laredo Alexander. We went to the state tournament, the top 4 in the state of Texas, Class 6A. We lost 3-2 to Arlington Martin, and we were able to get this ring, and real proud of the kids. Our kids were ranked number 1 in the state for the last 2 months of the season, and we were ranked as high as 3 and 4 in USA Today poll and the Baseball America. So I'm really proud of the last year that I was able to coach at Royal Alexander, especially, being able to coach my son, Chipper.
We understand Chipper might be listening in right now.
Yeah, he said he was going to try, and he's over in San Marcos watching this game. And 2011, his team went on to Washington, Pennsylvania on the Pony 14U, and were able to beat Chinese Taipei for the championship. So we're really proud of the kids from Laredo when they did that back in 2011.
Well, if Chipper's listening, thanks for tuning in, and the Lakers still suck. All right, we're moving on to the top of the second inning. There's a swing and a miss. Just kidding, Chipper. Kind of, sort of. Not really. All you Laker fans, we don't have the LA teams coming up next. So we're going to get in our Laker jabs right now. That one just misses. Joe Sai-Su. He's got some pop on that fastball, Coach.
Yeah, both pitchers are very impressive. And they do have, very good command, and they're around the strike zone.
There's a swing and a miss. That's going to even up the count at 2-2. Just holds up there, runs the count full. Again, Youngstown got a runner on in the top half of their inning, moved them over to second. But then a base running blunder kind of put an end to their hopes of scoring. They're now trailing this one 2-0. Swinging a foul ball.
Is there a pitch count?
Yeah, there is a pitch count. We believe the kids have a maximum of 105 pitches in a single day. There's a swing and a ground ball back up the middle, played at second base, thrown over to first. Jing Kai Lin with the routine play. That'll bring up Jacob Keene.
It's kind of hard for the defenses to set up to these kids unless they've been scouted. Usually, like in a high school game or any other type of game that you've already seen the kids play a little bit, and you're able to position the players, your defense. But the way I'm seeing Chinese Taipei, they're just pretty well set, playing every kid straight away.
First pitch misses for a ball. Next one swung on a foul back. How difficult is that when you don't have that opportunity to scout a team in these kind of tournaments?
Yeah, that's tough. To place these guys, and you can tell more or less as a coach on the way the kid is swinging the bat. To where and how fast your kid is pitching or how slow, or then you can move them a little bit, but not too much because you're not going to get any tendencies at all unless you're actually scouting, during the tournament.
The next one's fouled off. Ground ball back up the middle. Sue with a nice snag there, the throw over to first. Nice job out of the pitcher. That's the second time now he's fielded his position nicely.
Yeah, both teams are hitting the ball well. There's two good defensive teams going at each other also.
So quickly, 2 away now. First pitch swinging, lifted into right field, coming on, trying to make the catch. Yi Ling Ho. It's going to drop in for a base hit, though.
Kind of seems he lost it in the sun. He didn't get too good of a jump on it, but he was able to hold him to a single.
So one man on now with two away. First pitch swung on and just kind of off the fist. A little pop up to second. Lin there for the catch. And that's going to do it. So no runs on one hit. One batter left on. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It is 2-0 Chinese Taipei. We want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors here helping make this event possible. A-Rod Construction, your complete backhoe service. If you're looking for a backhoe, call A-Rod Construction. Blue Top Digital, they're helping out. Of course, this Palomino World Series. We thank you guys once again for joining us here. Carlos A. Canales. If you have any CPA needs, as I said yesterday, I wish I had a need for a CPA. I don't have that much money to need a CPA. Person, Borchers, Whitworth, and Morales, and Roadtex Truck Center. We thank you all for being a part of this weekend. Coach, why are you laughing at me over there?
CPA joke.
Everybody thinks all of us that are on TV working for the news, we make the big bucks. I hate to burst anybody's bubble. I have no need for a CPA. How many CPA jokes do you know, Coach? I'm kind of curious now.
None.
None. That's the only one. It's just when the poor guy says he doesn't need one. A 2-0 game. We do want to let you know earlier today, Puerto Rico put it on San Antonio 12-2. The kids from the Alamo City, the first to be eliminated here out of this Palomino World Series, as they will make the quick drive up I-35, head home. Puerto Rico moving on to tomorrow's game as they continue to try and make their way through the loser side of the bracket. There's a strike across to win Yi Go. In the other loser side of the bracket, Laredo, they bounce back, where they tended to win over Michigan. So the kids from the Gateway City showing out nicely after last night's tough loss to Mexico. They fall 7-6. Kids from Hermosillo. There's a strike on the inside corner. Uh-oh. I'm being told now we have to go back over our Chipper Garcia shout-out. There's a curveball down low in the dirt. That's going to even up the count 2-2. His dad here, Mario, wanted to give him a shout-out. A shout-out to Chipper. And I want to tell you that the Lakers are not very good.
Yeah, he told me to tell you something about Portland. I don't know if you're a Portland fan.
The swing and a foul off. Portland, would that be the team that just beat them in the Summer League tournament for the championship? That's the same Portland team. The same Portland team, I think, that's beat them 14 straight times in the regular season. I'm just saying, you know, we've got the Lakers number. That's all I'm saying.
Go LeBron.
Go LeBron. 2-2 count. That curveball way out in front is Koo. One away here. Stepping in now, Chun In Lin. I swear by the end of this game, I'm going to have these names down. At least in my own head, I'm going to have them down. There's a strike. Got a 1-1 count. Ground ball to short, and that's going to sneak through into center field for a base hit. Nicely placed base hit. Josie Hoffman just out of his reach, couldn't quite get over there. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Ko Chen Yin. Quick meeting out on the mound between Justin Stewart and Zach Rodley. I gotta say, Rodley's a pretty quick worker here, Coach. He's getting that ball and firing it right back into the plate.
Yeah, I love that as a coach, and you know who does too is your infielders and your outfielders, your defensive players. They love for the pitcher to work quick, and you don't get caught flat-footed.
That ball gets into the dirt. There's a ground ball to short. A fire across to first. Nice play by Josie Hoffman there.
Looks like the Ohio catcher's calling his own games. I don't see him looking in the dugout or checking with any of the coaches. The kid seems to be doing a really good job in calling the game.
First pitch misses for a ball. That brings up Kun Yu Chang. The ground ball to short. Hoffman ranging over with the spin. The fire to first. Just safe. A bang play there.
That was a great play by the shortstop. It's amazing how quick that runner got down to first base. Hats off to both kids.
First and third, two-away now. Yi Long Ho up now. The number 2 batter, he had a sacrifice. Going back to Chang, he is their leadoff man, so he does have some speed. Now you got runners at the corners. Ho with a sacrifice bunt back in the first inning, so no official at bat for him. This feels like a big spot in this game already, Coach.
Yeah, you as the defensive coach right now, you need to tell your infield what are you going to do if the kid from first tries to steal second? Do you go ahead and throw through, or do you catcher stay with the ball and to avoid having another run come down, being down 3-0? So we'll see how they play it.
And he fakes going, and the ball low and outside. Evens the count at 1-1. Joined now by more Laredo baseball royalty. A quick pickoff move. These two men went at each other for many years on the diamond. Got Coach Garcia and now Coach J.J. Gomez here, the former coach for the United Longhorns and Bulldogs. Do I need to get in between you two? I need to have...
Good times. Good times, yeah.
I'll never forget we had a weekend reporter who, on air, so there's a pitch low in the dirt. Nice block there by Stewart. Accidentally called Coach Garcia, Coach Mario Gomez on his lower third on the air. Coach Garcia let me hear about that one. I don't think you heard about that one, JJ. You didn't hear that one. Didn't see that one.
No, I got him on one.
Another ball down in the dirt. It's a 3-1 count. Keep our graphics guy on his toes over here. A fake goal, and this ball lifted into the gap. This one's going to get down, and it's going to score a pair. 2 runs going to come in, just going to throw home. It's not going to be in time. As Yu Jiang Kun scores just ahead of the throw. He was right behind Chen Yin Ku. And we're going to get a meeting out on the mound here. Zach Roudley. That was a tough one. Almost as tough as me trying to say these names. That was a nice line drive out into the right center field gap. That makes it 4-0 now. Are you going to join us for the second game?
Join for the second game.
I
can't see how it's done.
Uh-oh. So the meeting's over. Roudley staying in there. First pitch swinging. That's going to be a base hit into left. They're going to hold the runner up. So it was sharply hit on the first pitch. Kai-Lin Ching. In that situation, Coach, would you have sent him?
You know, I really couldn't see how close that left fielder was. But with 2 outs, usually you're all going to send him. Has to be a perfect throw and a good catch by the catcher. But I thought he was going to send him. Usually with 2 outs, you know, we will send him. Unless it was very close. But I'm kind of getting blocked out with this wall that I really can't see that left fielder.
Ji Hong Lu stepping in now. He's 1-for-1 with a double. Maybe with Lou coming up, there's a cleanup man. Maybe, you know, you want to give your big bat a chance to do some damage.
Don't take away the bat of, you know, one of your top hitters. And now you have the same situation, first and third, and really they haven't put any type of play on or so they can attract a throw and see where they could sneak in that runner from third without having, and then again, not having to use the, you know, an RBI from this kid that's hitting right now.
And there goes the runner. The throw going to be down to third. DeSanio not at the bag, though. He had to come back. You got a stolen base there for Lynn. So now 2 in scoring position, 2 balls, 1 strike. See a ground ball, hot shot down the third baseline. This is going to score 2 more. As Lowe going to go into second with a stand-up double.
He kind of tomahawked that one. It was kind of a high pitch, and he hit it right by the third baseman. Kids are hitting the ball hard.
He hammered that one. So that'll make it 6-0 now. Chinese Taipei with the lead. They've kind of blown this one open a little bit, Coach.
Yep, they're kind of teeing off already. And they're hitting it to where those kids aren't at, so it's even harder. You know, the kids aren't getting the opportunity to feel the ball. But, you know, hats off to these kids. You know, they're playing really well, both of them. They're giving all their effort, and now it seems like they're going to change the pitcher, maybe to save them for another game. Since they do have a pitch count, so you as a coach, you gotta watch out with it. These tournaments, you know, it's a game within a game, especially dealing with the pitchers. So they can save this kid that just came out right now, did an awesome job, and now save him for another game. And you never know; these kids can come back. You know, it's baseball. It's a funny game.
Yeah, that's going to do it for Zach Roudley. Didn't get a number of who came in. See if he turns his back to us. There's his number 33. So that would be Pat Gumpto. Gumpto's going to come in to pitch. So that'll do it for Rowley. He is still responsible for the one runner out there. Pat Gumpto. We can have this argument over YouTube if you would like, Chipper, but here's the problem is I have a microphone in my hand. All you can do is text message and type away. No, the starters for Portland Summer League, not their starters for the regular season. Actually, that would be the Lakers. All I'm saying, man, Damian Lillard, first team All-NBA. CJ McCollum. The Lakers, they got LeBron. Congratulations. He's off going to be making movies and open schools, and he doesn't care about winning any more championships. He knew when he went to L.A. he was done winning championships. Let's be honest. 6-0. Chinese Taipei, the kids from Taiwan with the lead. First pitch to Pei Fong Dai in there for a strike. Gumpto looking like he short-armed that one a little bit. Misses for a ball. Turn to second, but no play. A swing and a miss. Strike two, 1-2 here. Gumpto comes set, trying to get Youngstown out of this jam. That pitch made it about 60 feet, unfortunately for him. The plate is 60 feet, 6 inches. We'll run the count 2-2, 2 away. We're in the bottom of the second inning here. High. Runs the count full, and the last thing you want to do, put on more base runners here if you are Ohio.
Chipper's flying down.
Swung on a ground ball down the first baseline. They're going to say that was fair. It's going to score another run. Dye taking a big turn around first. He's going to retreat back to the bag.
And he fell in between. I don't know if he did that on purpose. Great job by the right fielder holding that kid to a single. He thought about going to second, kind of slipped a little bit, but the kid made a really good throw, or getting it off. It hit off the tarp, which is in play at the stadium, and was able to hold him to a single, but the run did score.
So it's 7-0 Taipei over Youngstown right now. And Po Son Wang going to step in. He went down swinging in his only other at-bat. They fake the go, and then this ball hit hard back out to right. But right there is Rowan Fletcher to mercifully end the inning for Youngstown. But tack on 5 more runs on 6 hits. Chinese Taipei leads this one now 7-0. That ball hard hit, Coach, just right at the right fielder.
Yeah, they're hitting the ball really well. You know, great sportsmanship from both teams. You know, you always watch Chinese Taipei and Japan play in the Little League World Series, and then I had the pleasure to watch them back in 2011 over there in Washington, Pennsylvania. And they all go up and they greet the umpire, and nothing but great stuff to say about both teams. And you know, they're just playing hard. Both of them are doing a really good job, and it's just that Chinese Taipei is hitting the ball really well. And like I said before, there's still a lot of game left to be played, and we'll see what happens.
Coming up for Ohio, it'll be the bottom of the order. Rowan Fletcher going to lead it off. Then Dylan Brickner and Jake McCaskey back to the top of the order. Joe Sai Su at 29 pitches through 2 innings. So he's been fairly efficient out there as well, Coach.
Yes, a lot of strikes, and that's the name of the game. You know, just especially when you have a big lead like this, you know, you just tell the kid to pitch to contact. I mean, you know, let the kids hit. You know, don't try and get too fancy and start throwing a bunch of breaking balls and stuff like that. Just, you know, make sure they can hit your fastball, and we can go from there. But you know, we need outs. You know, you tell your kids, you know, we need outs, and just throw strikes. And the other, as the offensive team, when you're behind. But you tell your kid just to, you know, don't go after the first pitch, or let them throw a couple of more pitches. Now that there's pitch counts involved, and maybe we can get them out of there. But don't be aggressive. Just play, you know, one bat at a time, and they'll be chasing pitches out of the strike zone, and don't be chasing his first pitch, you know, especially as a leadoff batter.
First offering over for a strike to Fletcher. The 0-1 pitch misses high. Looked to be high. I went back and watched last night's game a little bit. That was a fun one between Laredo and Mexico, Coach. Excited to see Mexico come up later on today. There's a ground ball to second. Lynn gonna go off of his glove there. A tough hop, tough play out for the second baseman.
Kind of seemed that it hit his face. It took a bad hop at the very end there, and they're going to call timeout and come 10 to the second baseman.
They're going to take a look at Lynn. Let's see if we can get a replay for you here so that you can see the ground ball.
Now you see a lot of baseball fields going to the turf, to the artificial grass, or AstroTurf, what they used to call it, which plays really, really nice. You know, on the dirt fields here, or the dirt infield, you know, you have kids, you know, going on and off, and they don't drag them until the other game is over. So, you know, they can hit a little spike mark and stuff and come up on you. But what I see is a lot of the trend is going now to an all-turf field, to where the only thing that's not dirt is the pitcher's mound. But there's some fields now that are, even the pitcher's mound is artificial turf. So that's the growing trend in baseball now. And we've got to play there at Alexander. We got to play in some really, really nice fields, and you save a lot of water on the water and the maintenance and stuff like that. And of course, you'll never get a bad hop.
So on that one, Coach, this is a tough one here. Do you give him an error on that?
No.
Give him the base hit. You go with the base hit?
I would, yeah, what you say, hard to handle, too hard to handle. And it just came up on the kid. I wouldn't give him an error, and, you know, why not just give the Youngstown kid a base hit. The only time that would really be tough is if the kid has a no-hitter and stuff. That's going to be a tough decision on the official scorekeeper.
So let me ask you this too. On the you're talking about the turf fields with the South Texas heat. How big a difference does that make? Because the turf does typically hold in the heat a lot more. Do you find it's detrimental to the kids for the temperature change between a natural turf field and the artificial turf?
Yeah, if you're playing during, you know, an afternoon game, and, you know, we're hitting 100 to 110, you know, that heat will come up. But, you know, we play a lot of night games, so you only see that really in a tournament. You know, that's the only thing, and it's expensive, you know, but you kind of weigh the options, whether the, you know, the watering part and the maintenance versus, you know, purchasing the turf for your baseball field. Some just have the infield turfed and the outfield is grass, which also, you know, for financial reasons could help. But, and being surprisingly that a lot of these AstroTurf fields or turf fields they have a sprinkler system to maintain, to keep them cool. You know, a lot of people laugh, why would they have a, you know, a sprinkler system? Well, the reason is to keep the turf field cool, you know, right before games and stuff like that.
I didn't play a whole lot of baseball on turf, played some football on turf. It is definitely a different game on the turf field. Even with the football, I can imagine baseball, getting those true hops has got to be very advantageous. As Dylan Brickner stepping in, he's fouled off a couple of pitches, counts 1 and 2 here, nobody out. High and away.
Yeah, and you asked, probably the main question is, can the kids still wear steel spikes on the artificial turf? And the answer is yes. Sometimes they say that, you know, there's different companies that produce them. Some they say that, you know, some are more bouncier than the other ones, or you got to watch out with the steel spikes because they might get stuck on the turf. But the people that will, you know, put them on for you, they'll give you the do's and don'ts. I know the main one is no sunflower seeds on the field at all.
I don't like that rule whatsoever. That rule, that's just not fun. Full count now to Brickner. He swings, chases ball 4 there, but fouls it off. And they have made some huge advances, too, in these turf fields now. It's not that AstroTurf that you used to see back in the late 70s into the 80s and 90s. Now it's that field turf with the black pellets. There's ball 4, so just like that, Youngstown, they've got their first 2 runners on base. Got a little something cooking here.
The reason that AstroTurf was invented, you know, back when I was watching baseball, watching the Astros, you know, when they made the first dome stadium, which was called the Houston Astrodome, they tried to grow grass on that field, and they, with the light being able to get through the roof, a certain type of glass they had, and it just wasn't growing properly. So I think it was a company named Monsanto that invented the AstroTurf, and that's how AstroTurf got done. But it's gone through a lot of phases, and it's gotten a lot better, and it's a little bit higher, and they do use some type of pellets with rubber tires. But there's another one that just came out that a buddy of mine in Jordanton, Texas has. That's supposed to be top of the line, and that has like a brown residue that they put on it. But yeah, AstroTurf has come a long way, and it's gotten a lot better, and it's good for, you know, towns like here in San Antonio where we get a lot of heat, you know, to help a lot on the having to grow the grass or keep it maintained.
Jake McCaskey steps in. He takes ball 1. And strike 1 there. Evens the count at 1-1. He's without an official at bat, sacrificed back in the first inning. The ground ball to third, going to go to second for 1, on to first for the double play.
Great job. Defensively, great job.
Lou to Lin to Wang for the double play.
Great job by the third baseman. He did have a chance to go touch the base at third, but he went after the double play. You know, when you have a big lead like that, you just go out, like I said before, you go for the outs. And I know they have a man on third, but of course you need, you know, now you have a good chance, a single or a wild pitch or something to score that run, and Ohio needs definitely to get something on the board.
So just like that, you go from first and second with nobody out to now a runner on third with 2 away. And Steve DeSanio stepping in. He's 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice. Back in the first inning. Swung on and fouled off. Evens up the count at 1-1. Coach wants to man the organ. If we had an organ out here, an actual organ. Next offering over for a strike. 1-2 count with 2 away. They're going to come pull him. I've got him at 46 pitches, but that's going to do it for Joe Sue.
How many days does he have to rest?
I'm not sure exactly on the specifics. Let's see here. We'll look that up here in a second. Looks like for the 18 and under at 45 pitches, he's got to sit out for 1 day. So I'm wondering, I may have an extra pitch for him. That may be why he was pulled.
He'll be eligible to come back on Monday then, right?
So if my I'm going to assume I have him at 46 pitches. I'm going to assume Coach had him at 45, and that's why he came out right away. So, yeah, he would need 1 day's rest. So, yeah, he would be able to come back and pitch on Monday, which, again, Coach, you've been in some of these tournaments. Talk to me about the kind of attrition that these teams go through and just trying to find pitchers.
Yeah, when you're going to go to a tournament, you have to have, you're guaranteed, especially in a high school tournament, you're guaranteed 4 games. So you have to line up at least 8 kids to come in and schedule them to pitch, because especially now the pitch count came in about 2 years ago. And my last year at Laredo Alexander, there was no pitch count, but now I'm at the private school here at Laredo St. Augustine, and now I've been dealing with a pitch count, but I haven't yet gone to any tournaments, so it really hasn't affected, I've never coached to where I have to watch the pitch count, but I can imagine, that you need to have arms going into a tournament, because you have to, like I said, you're coaching a game within a game, and to watch that you don't go over the pitch count. Do I approve the pitch count? Yes, I do. I think it's, these kids are young, and there's a lot of kids getting hurt, and I think it's protecting the young kids, but it is changing the way that you do coach the game.
There it was, 1 pitch. That's all it took out of Yi Sheng Chu to get the strikeout. And that will do it here for Youngstown as they get no runs on 1 hit, 1 man left. So they've left a man in every single inning so far. Chinese Taipei continues to lead this one 7-0. Coming up next for them, Wen Yi Ku. Chun In Lin will hit second inning, and then Ku Chin Yen will round out the 3 expected up, but so far they have not gone down in order in any inning, Coach.
No, these kids can hit. They can hit, and they're not going to stop. They're you can tell they're very well disciplined. They're not chasing any bad pitches, and they're continuing to put the ball in play, and you make things happen. Even though I think defensively I haven't seen an error yet. Everybody's playing really well. So, and I'm going to say it again, baseball is a funny game, and there's There's no time limit to these games, so it's not over till the last out.
And you've talked a little bit about the experience of going to watch your son and some of his friends play back in 2011 when they played against a team from Taiwan. How does tournaments like this prepare these young men, not only for high school ball maybe, but even a lot of these kids going off to play college level as well?
No, it's awesome. You know, it's just experience that I'll never forget. You know, watching my kid ever since he was, 4 or 5 years old, and then they were able to do really well in the Little League, as from 10-year-old to 11 to 12, going to the state tournament in Waco and Fort Worth. And then once they finished their 12-year-old season, they moved down to Pony, which I like a lot. But because you go into, in the age of 13 and 14, you go into an intermediate field to where you don't go from 12 years old to a full-size field. And that's where I was a big fan of Pony. We were able to do that, and his team, kids from Laredo were able to compete in the World Series 13U in Fullerton, California. We lost to Mexico in the elimination game, and then the following year they went to Washington, Pennsylvania to play in the 14U World Series, and were able to win that one versus Chinese Taipei. And wow, what an experience as a proud daddy. And it was, of course, a lot of the kids that played on that team I was able to coach in high school.
A quick ground out there. And that'll bring up Chun In Lin. Another strike over from Pat Gumto on for his second inning of work. Talk about another quick worker here as the ball lifted down the right field line, but it's going to get out of play. You talked a little bit about going to that intermediate field. In between, I know some of the other leagues go from the 60-foot bases right to the 90-foot bases. Here in Pony, the pitch just misses off the outside corner. Here in Pony, they go to that intermediate, I think it's 70-foot bases.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's great because, especially for the pitchers, for the length of the pitcher's mound, that's where you really notice the difference. But I was always a big fan of, I like Little League for the reason that because you have Williamsport as your ultimate goal. And I played Little League back, and we didn't have Pony in Laredo. Pony kicked in here not too long ago. But the different rules and mainly what I liked it is the high school coach was that it was the intermediate field. That was the best thing. And the people would always say that well, we don't have the Pony fields because of the distance of the bases. But any time that your son or your kids or whatever get to compete in any sport, and whatever it is, it's awesome, especially for a family and stuff like that. But there's there's pluses and minuses for everything. But the best thing that I saw was the 13 and 14-year-old intermediate field. But now you have a lot of kids that are playing select and travel, and they kind of get dispersed in different type of leagues. But as long as they're competing, staying in school, doing good, getting good grades and socializing, because sports helps you with the social skills too, and you can, it's a big plus, in any type of sport that you compete in.
Yin with a nice line drive there over the second baseman McCoskey's glove to get on. Keep the inning alive for Chinese Taipei. They got him at first, and that's going to bring up Chiang. He is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Takes the next offering high as well. 2-0 now. Swung on, trying to get it into the hole at second. McCaskey coming up with it. The throw to first in time for the out. So a nice quick inning there out of Youngstown. That's what they needed almost able to put it through that hole, but just not quite, Coach. We're going to head to the top of the fourth inning now. Youngstown trailing this one 7-0. They're going to need some offense. And going back to what we were talking about with the intermediate field, the pitchers. I don't think a lot of times people think about that as going from I think it's 45 feet for the Little League field, the small guy field, up to 60 feet 6 inches. Man, you watch some of those 13-year-old games when they're playing on the big field, and that pitching is it's painful.
Yes, we used to have, in the Little League, you'd go, the 9 and 12-year-olds would be the Little League. Yeah, I'm talking about when I played, and then they would go straight to senior league, which was 13, 14, and 15. But you had 14 and 15-year-old kids pitching. But then they brought in, a couple of years later, they brought in a thing called the junior league, and it was all 13-year-olds, and they could not, they couldn't throw strikes. The defensive kids would get bored, the parents would get bored, everything, because the kid could not reach the ball sometimes. And sometimes you got some bigger kids, but they made an adjustment, and they go from there. You live and learn. But like I said, the intermediate is perfect. Because a lot of kids, they don't know. Like if you're playing in a high school field, they say, "Is this the same size that the Houston Astros or the Rangers play on?" Is it? Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the fence might be a little bit further, and there's going to be more people in the stands. But the field, the dimensions are exactly the same. So you're going from a 12-year-old to a huge field. It is. So that's, my props to Pony and doing that, and that helps, a lot, like I said, especially with the pitching.
Well, and too, there's some other added benefits as well. Kids have to learn how to lead off. Pitchers have to work out of the stretch. You can't just go out of the windup then. It just feels a little bit more like baseball. Not that, Little League obviously has its place, but Pony League is doing very well. I want to say Little League as well is going to that intermediate field. So, like you said, these leagues kind of figuring it out as they go along. As Josie Hoffman steps in, it'll be Hoffman, Connor Rakow, and Jacob Keene.
Yes, that's one of the main differences from Little League to Pony League is at that level, at the 12-year-old, where the kids cannot take a lead. And they say, well, it's not really baseball, but it is. It's been around so many years, but they all have their pluses. And like I said, as long as the kids are competing and keeping busy during the summer and socializing with the other kids and as parents, of course you want to enjoy watching your kids play and, don't put pressure on them. They have enough pressure at school as it is, just to have fun and watch them enjoy the game and go from there. Baseball's an awesome game, so is all the other sports that we have, but enjoy and these memories that I had with my son, I will never be able to get them back again, So you as a parent, in any league that it is, Little League or Pony, just enjoy them and always praise them. Always be there for them. And I tell you what, it'll go a long way. Win or lose, like the slogans that the Pony and the Little League have, just the competition.
Hoffman able to hold up his swing there, runs the count full, 3-2. Takes that one inside, so the leadoff man on now. Connor Rakow stepping in. He grounded out in his first at-bat. Grounded out to second. We'll see here. Got to believe Youngstown. You got to kind of let these bats flow a little bit here. Can't be playing the small ball. I know they tried that in the first inning, but down 7 runs, you don't want to tell your guys you can't obviously get it all back with one swing, but you need to get some hits here. Can't be giving up outs. First pitch swing and lifted, a pop up on shallow left field, going out to make the catch. Chiang for Chinese Taipei.
Use a team that's down, but you need to be less aggressive and play base to base and not to take any chances because you're down by 7. So you want to get runners on base and take some pitches and make the pitcher work, and you don't have to take the extra base. Just go one base at a time.
Jacob Keene stepping in, digs low ball one. He grounded back to the pitcher, Sue, in his only at-bat of the day. Digging in, that'll be a 2-0 count now. Taking a quick look at the stands, a smattering of fans all looking for shade wherever they can find it here on this August afternoon in Laredo, Texas. You got to love these Chinese Taipei fans, the parents, I'm assuming, family members up in the stands. Anytime they do anything good, it is a big round of applause. As a ground ball hit weakly to second, go to second for one, on to first for the double play. And you talk about fundamentals, Coach. There it was, a second baseman, Lin, coming in, a little pirouette flip to Chang onto Wang at first. And you know what I liked there? Something that probably doesn't go noticed a whole lot. The first baseman, Wang, fired the ball after he had made the third out to Leo, the third baseman, coming across. And what did he do? He dropped the ball right at the mound. You were talking about that earlier, the sportsmanship that this Chinese Taipei team shows. A lot of times you'll see the first baseman just kind of flip the ball back out towards the mound. Not these guys. They threw it right back, and that third baseman dropped it literally right in the middle of the rubber there for the Youngstown, Ohio pitcher.
Yeah, I had noticed that, Ryan. I'd never seen that before, but it always happened. The last out of the inning, they'll fire the ball to that third baseman. Third baseman puts it right on the rubber for the opponent pitcher to come get it, not to be chasing the ball all over the place.
So the 4-6-3 double play ends. Any hope for Youngstown, Ohio to get on the board? We head now to the bottom of the fourth inning. We remain 7-0. As Yi Lung Ho will step in here. He is 1 for 1 on the day, had a sacrifice bunt, and his first at-bat doubled the last time up. Still trying to figure out this scoring system. Trying to go old or new school on it, Coach, with the tablet scorebook. Not sure how I like it so far. It's been interesting. Tough to go back and see who picked up RBIs. That's, you know, there's something to be said for the old pen and paper aspect of it. First pitch down low in the dirt. We're coming up on an hour and 13 minutes. The next pitch misses as well, 2-0. Again, you got a couple of teams that like to, or have pitchers that like to get the ball out of their hands quickly.
Yeah, the game is going really quick. You know, both teams hustle on and off the field, and pitchers get the ball and they throw. You know, sometimes they call, you know, somebody the human rain delay because they're taking forever to get the sign. Then and this kid is throwing. He gets on the rubber and here he comes. You know, he'll just nod with the catcher and here he goes.
And that tells me there's a lot of confidence in your catcher. There's ball 4 to Ho.
And you keep your defense on its toes, you know, because, you know, pitcher taking a long time and it kind of, you know, drags on a little bit. But when your pitcher's throwing like he is, you know, really quick, gets a sign and goes, and your infield and your outfield are ready to go.
Ching Kai Lin now, he's going to step in. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. The step off. Come to over to first. A nice lead there out of Ho. He just gets back in time. They swing a foul off. Gumdo with the offer and swung on that one, fouled off. So 0-2 count.
Pitching change. Oh, the pitch count also.
And that will do it for Mr. Gumdo.
Double elimination.
Yes.
This is be the winner's bracket. This is probably why they're holding their pitchers.
So we will have a pitching change here. On to throw now will be number 30, Frank Kroska.
These two teams are really lucky to be playing in a facility like we have here in Laredo, here at Uni-Trade Stadium. It's been the home to a couple of professional teams, independent, and now we have the luxury of having one of the Mexican League teams that come over, and we share them with Nuevo Laredo, which is right across the border. This field is really nice, really well maintained, and high schools come. We play some games here as well, but you know, they should be honored to be able to play on a facility like this. But my hat's off to the city of Laredo and the Pony League to put this, get them this venue to play this tournament.
Yeah, very nice venue here in Laredo. I know I was here when they were still in the planning stages for it. There was a little bit of debate about whether the city needed a field like this, but if you don't have a field like this, events like the Pony League World Series don't come here. The first time that this tournament being held in Texas, it's been in California for quite a few years before coming out here to the Gateway City. As Lynn will step back in. That one's high. And Ho, the base runner, he's going to advance on to second on the pass ball. Pass ball or wild pitch there, Coach. You're my official scorekeeper for the day. He got blocked off.
I got blocked off with this pole that's right in front of me. Ryan, what was we had the Laredo Lemurs here in the World Championship in what year?
The Lemurs? Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot here, Coach, with that one. Oh, man. Well, let's see. We can count it back here. They did not play in 17. So, yeah, I believe it was 2015 as this ball hit high into left field. Brickner going back. He's got a beat on it. Looks like he's going to make the catch, and he does at the warning track. I want to say 2015. That would be 2015, I do believe, because they played one more season. And then last summer, of course, was we'll just call it the drama surrounding the team that
what was the association they were in? I know they were independent, but they were in the American?
They were in the American Association. The American Association of Baseball, an independent league, has teams stretching all the way up north, for the most part in the Central Time Zone. They play typically in a league with, or a division with Grand Prairie. Wichita was in there. Amarillo was in their division for a couple of years. There was an El Paso team before they got the Chihuahuas, who's a affiliated team now. As Liao will step in, takes ball one. So they played some good baseball. It was, I would say, around that double-A level of baseball.
Yeah, there was a couple of players that have gotten moved up to the minors and to the majors with teams that are affiliated with a major league. And I know the manager that was with the Lemurs was Pete Cavilla, which was a stud over at Oklahoma State University, and later went on to play for, I know, the Texas Rangers. So he was our manager for a couple of years, and then until they disbanded. And now we share a Mexican League team, which is, they say it's equivalent to a AAA team. So they get people from Laredo here get to see a lot of good baseball. There are some future major leaguers that will play in that league and eventually make it to the major leagues.
Yeah, just from watching the half of a season that we've seen out of the Tecos, this ball laced into center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. They're going to wave around the runner. The throw home is not going to be in time. It's high, and that is going to allow Dye to move on up to second on the throw home as Ho comes in to score. Nice line drive there to center, falling in. And that will bring up Po Son Wang, the first baseman. He's 0 for 2. He's gone down swinging and flew out to right in his last at-bat. It's a ground ball back up the middle, going to be out of reach, and that one's going to get into center field. As Dye going to come in to score. Chinese Taipei, they just keep coming. They don't let up, Coach.
Clutch 2-out hits by both those kids, and they're hacking. They're not waiting for for anything. They're going after that first pitch.
And that will bring up Win-Yi Ko. He's first pitch swinging, lifts a line drive to right. This one can get held up by the wind, though. It's Fletcher there to make the out, but 2 more runs tacked on for Taiwan here. They now lead this one 9-0 over Youngstown.
The name of the team that is being shared with Laredo and Nuevo Laredo, Mexico, is called the Tecolotes, which is translated into owls. Right, Ryan? Am I mistaken?
You're the expert on that one, Coach. I don't know. I'm not from Laredo. The Spanish, we didn't speak a whole lot of that up in Portland.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry.
Yeah, I do believe it is the Owls. So that's their mascot is the Owls. So, yes, the Tecolotes, Tecos for short. They do have quite a tradition here in Laredo and Nuevo Laredo. As I'm looking out at their championship banner, they've got five titles in the Mexican League, 1953, 54, 58. Then a bit of a gap to 1977, the next one. Finally, 1989, their 5th championship in the Mexican League. So it's been a fun brand of summer after a summer off here in Laredo with no professional baseball to speak of coming back. And at least I think they're playing 36 games, 37 games over here at Uni-Trade Stadium this summer. Like you said, a unique situation being split with Nuevo Laredo.
Yeah, they'll play a 4-game series. They'll play 2 in Laredo, Texas, and they'll play the other 2 at in Nuevo Laredo, in the state of Tamaulipas, and so the people can watch them here, watch them over there. And the way I understand, I haven't been to any games yet, but that they're getting a really, really good attendance.
Yeah, they believe the July 4th game, they set the record here for the stadium. Their previous record held, I think, by the Lemurs opening day, their first season here. I know the opening day for the Tacos here this year was very, very well attended and might have been close to breaking that record. But the July 4th game was standing room only. I didn't make it out to that game. I was busy at work, but I was here for a little bit, and there was long, long lines just to get in for that one. So we're going to move now to the top half of the 5th inning, 9-0 your score. Be the bottom third of the order for Youngstown, Justin Stewart, Ben McKinnis. And then the Rowan Fletcher, the right fielder. I was looking on my defensive lineup for McKinnis. He's the DH coach. He's probably not going to be on my defensive roster if he's DHing. That one taken for a strike. Well, that 9-0 lead, and Chinese Taipei coming out and want to make quick work of another inning here as there's foul ball off towards the Ohio dugout.
You know, here in Laredo, we have the luxury of watching the Tecolotes play, and of course, real good high school baseball. And we also have the Corpus Christi Hooks in Corpus, which is about 150 miles away. I think they're affiliated with the Astros.
Yes.
Double A, and then we have the Missions in San Antonio, another 150 miles to go watch the San Antonio Missions. I know they were affiliated with the Dodgers, and then they went to the Mariners. I don't know who they're affiliated with now.
I believe it's still the Mariners, although they are going to be getting a AAA team up in San Antonio soon.
So if you like baseball, there's a lot of places to go watch. That stadium in Corpus called Whataburger Stadium, beautiful stadium. It looks a lot like the one in Pittsburgh where they have that bridge in center field. Really, really nice.
This ball swung on and lifted into right center field, giving chase and making the catches. Yi Long Ho. So one away quickly here for Youngstown. Ben McKinnis will step in. He's over one with a fly out. Tough spot for the Ohio kids here is you start to feel the inevitable doom kind of closing in on you, down 9-0 in the fifth. They've only been able to keep Taipei off the scoreboard once so far in their 4 at-bats. One more run would put an end to this one if Youngstown can't get on the scoreboard. So 10-run rule would come into effect in the fifth. There's a swing, a foul tip into the catcher's glove. 0-2 the count now. It will be the 8-9 hitters for Chinese Taipei before rolling back over to the top of the lineup. Down low and in the dirt. And even there, Coach, you see the Chinese Taipei catcher hustles out. The ball squirts away from him just a little bit. He doesn't get up and walk over. He ran over right away. Very impressed with this team and how they conduct themselves on the field. Swinging ground ball to short. Coming up with it is Chang. Over to first in time. 2 away.
Great play by the shortstop.
Bring up Rowan Fletcher now, the number 9 hitter. Youngstown been held to 3 hits on the afternoon. Rowan has one of those 3. He had a single back in the third. Swings and fouls his first pitch off. Rowan digging back in. This one down low and in the dirt. And as a coach, at this point, what do you tell your kids? You're down 9-0.
Like I said, just take some pitches and see if you can work a walk or get that kid to, throw as many pitches as he can, but don't, and play base to base. And I know there was a game here yesterday where one team was up 6-0 and ended up getting beat. So you never know. Like I said, there's no time limit in baseball. So just be patient at the plate, and you never know what can happen.
Yeah, just kind of keep hacking away. That's all you can do at this point if you're Youngstown. Hope to catch a break or 2.
But this kid from Chinese Taipei seems just to be throwing fastballs, just, you know, hit the ball and we'll catch it, that mentality. And he's really compact, doesn't use too much energy, just throwing a lot of, little ground ball right here to third baseman. Third baseman kind of threw the ball up a little bit. First baseman had to reach to get it, but Rowan hustled down to first base and forced that throw, and he was able to get on. Let's see what happens now.
Yeah, an error there on the throw.
Very unlike them, huh?
Now we'll roll it over to the top of the order. Dylan Brickner coming up. It will be interesting. The pitcher for Taipei, Yi Sheng Chu, I've got him at 26 pitches here. If he hits 30, he's safe to pitch again tomorrow. 31 would roll him over into the next day. So we'll see a few more pitches here if he can't get out of this one, what his manager decides to do. Brickner stepping in. He's 1 for 1. A single to lead off the game and then walk. That one's fouled off. You got a 1-1 count. We were talking a little bit earlier about the pitch counts, Coach, and how that kind of saves these kids, especially during these summer months. From you get some of these kids, I'm sure, playing baseball all year long, as that one's low and in the dirt. You get a 2-1 count.
Yes, that pitch count is huge. You know, a lot of people say, well, you need to play baseball year-round. I think, you know, you do need to have some rest for, you know, I see as a baseball player, because even if you don't pitch, you're swinging, and it takes a toll on you, you know. I've always said that, you know, you're young and play basketball, play football, play flag football, whatever sport, run track, cross country, whatever, just keep busy and keep competitive. But these kids that play baseball year-round, they do need some type of break, and the pitch count has helped in that. And because sometimes we as coaches, you know, we look for wins instead of having to try and take care of the young boy's arm. So, you know, now they're doing it in softball and in baseball, and I'm a bit advocate on that rule.
Well, Taipei coach not going to have to make a decision just yet as Chu gets out of the inning with a ground ball to short. The quick flip to second, and we are headed now to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Again, 9-0. Chinese Taipei with the lead here. They are looking to get one more run and put an end to this one. If they're able to do that here in this half of the inning, it'll be their second straight Mercy Rule win.
I'm going to take something back. I don't know in softball they do have a pitch count or not.
Not sure. I know with softball it's considered a much more natural motion, the underhand kind of firing motion. I don't think they have a pitch count in softball. But again, I don't know that for sure, so I'm not going to speak on that either. But it is much more natural, and it's not supposed to be nearly as hard on the arm. If you follow Major League Baseball quite a bit, you know, you're seeing a lot of these guys with having shoulder and elbow issues at younger and younger ages, and a lot of people are kind of guessing or surmising, I guess, that it's coming from the younger ages. We don't know what kind of injuries and surgeries these kids are going through at younger and younger ages. The first pitch is swinging is Taipei. This one, Chun In Lin.
Yeah, a lot of the younger kids, you know, when I played Little League, and that they were throwing a lot of curveballs, you know, at the age of 10 or 11 and 12, and the curveball takes a strain on its elbow. And so I don't know, they have never yet to bring out a rule that you can only throw so many curveballs per game, but, you know, they did go to the pitch count, so that helps. But you as a coach, you know, you have coaches in the Little League and Pony League that they need to take control, you know, to take control and make sure that you take care of his arm, his or her arm, and not put it in a strain to where it can affect him later on in life.
Quick ground out to third there for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Ku Chen Yen. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a single. Takes that one high. I used to coach little guy baseball, and I remember I was coaching an 11 and 12-year-old team, and we tried to be very good about not throwing a whole lot of curveballs. That one's low and in the dirt. I got a little overexcited in one championship game, and I called 3 straight curveballs for a kid, and his dad came over and started to chew me out. And I go, you're right. I'm sorry. That was my bad. It was a swing and a miss. And I apologized to the kid later. I said, that was on me. We won the game. We won the championship, but shouldn't have done it. I got a little carried away. I admit that. As coaches, we're not perfect either. Coaches make mistakes from time to time, right?
No, of course, we're not perfect, and sometimes you get the W instead of what's best for the kid. Instead, thinking about the wins, and that's why they put the pitch count. But I am surprised that neither one of the leagues have put in, the breaking ball involved in that, because you can tell right away, how many the kid's going to throw a lot of. I had a kid back in 1999 that was just a fastball and a changeup. He was 98 miles an hour to 88 to 78, and I think he was 27-2 in his career at Laredo Alexander. Never threw a curveball, and he went on to pitch 4 years in college, and never got drafted. I thought he was going to get drafted. He was a big boy. His name was Raul Quiroz. And he never threw a curveball. All he would throw was his fastball and changeup, and he looked the same as every time he threw it, and he was very successful.
It's interesting, going that far, and really that's, especially at the high school and younger age, that's really all you need is the fastball changeup. If you can just mix up your speeds and you've got a good fastball, it's probably had a little bit of movement on it at 88 miles an hour. That's...
And one of my best buddies, Coach Berthoff out of Jordanton, he said the key to pitching is put a little on, take a little off. And that's all you got to do, and to be successful. And of course, Joe Morgan's played with Cincinnati Reds, said, what was the best pitch in baseball? And everybody's curveball or a slider or a knuckleball or whatever. He goes, no, the first pitch for a strike. First pitch you throw to every batter, throw a strike. And then you got him guessing.
There's a ball that's going to run the count. That's going to be ball 4. As Yen gets on base, and that's going to roll over to the top of the order. Kun Yu Chang going to come up. He's 2 for 3. Pair of singles and a ground out. Grounded out his last time up. The speedster for Chinese Taipei. First pitch swinging, that's a line drive. It's going to get up and over the head, and that is probably going to do it for us here. Yen going to be waved around. He's going to come in to score on the triple as Chang slides in safely. That's going to make it 10-0. And that's our ball game, folks. Chinese Taipei, they get it done again. Kun Yu Chang. We're going to give him our player of the game. I think it's only safe. He went 3 for 4 with a pair of singles and a triple there to end this one. So Chinese Taipei, they are moving on. They continue through into the winner's bracket. They are now going to play tomorrow at 4 p.m. here. They will face off with the winner of Puerto Rico and Ohio. Youngstown, Ohio. They will move into the loser's side of the bracket. Those two teams, Youngstown, Ohio, and Puerto Rico, will play tomorrow at 10 a.m. right here. So, Coach, what were kind of your impressions of the game?
The score doesn't indicate, how the outcome of the game was. Of course, it was a 10-run rule, but, both teams gave it all they got. Chinese Taipei can hit the ball really well, and both kids threw well. All 3 or 4 kids that threw today did the job they had to, and just the thing is that somebody's got to come out on top, and Chinese Taipei is going to advance, and Youngstown will have to go through the loser's bracket. But very well played on both sides. Congrats to both teams.
As the kids from Taiwan bow towards the field and then towards the stands where their fans are. Again, another classy move. Just very, very impressed, not only on the field but off the field by this Chinese Taipei team. You said, Coach, not done for Youngstown as they move into the loser side of the bracket, as we're going to have about an hour break here before we get our second game of the day in. I'm going to stay with you, Coach. Mario Gomez taking off. Oh, Garcia. Sorry, Mario Garcia going to take off. But, Coach, I appreciate you stepping in and giving us some of your insights here on the sport of baseball.
Enjoyed it, Ryan. Heat waiver, Ryan. Fair enough. No, it was awesome. This is the first time I do this, and it was really, really nice. I enjoyed. I love the game of baseball. Any league, any level, you know, it's a sport, and I love watching. Like I said, I love to watch the competition. Enjoyed it. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Well, thank you. And like I said, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in about an hour for you for the start of our next game. Los Angeles taking on Mexico in the second of our winners bracket. Again, stay with us one more time. Chinese Taipei 10, Youngstown, Ohio 0 as the team from Taiwan moving on in the winners bracket. Again, stay with us. We'll be right back. For Mario Garcia, I am Ryan Bailey. Once again, thank you, Coach, for coming on out.